time to fold my clothes. Okay. Wait, what? The hell? Oh, hell no. Wait, is that a camera? I'll answer the question. How did you integrate technology, software, hardware, and online in this project? I see you. Where are you then? But whatever, I'll answer the question. Well, basically, my horror movie is it's called Obsessed. Okay, we know this. Throughout the project, I use different types of technology, hardware, software, and online tools. And I honestly learned that the technology isn't just there to record something, it actually is what shapes the movie and the meaning of the film. For hardware, I mainly use a smartphone to film, basically my phone that I'm using. At first, I didn't really think on about how much control I actually had over it. I just filmed it. But as the project went on, I started thinking more intentionally about framing, like focus and camera positioning. I used like a tripod that my teacher gave me for scenes where like obviously I wanted the tension. If not, we just used a little stand to it was to build the tension slowly. Like when the protagonist is alone and in his house, or like the steady shots that make everything feel controlled but also uncomfortable. Then in more like intense moments, I use slightly handled movement to reflect the panic and the confusion, which it helped me really realize that basic equipment can even create the meaning if you use it correctly. So yeah, just that one. Lighting was another thing I had to figure out. I didn't have like professional lights, so I used lamps and fake candles to like low-key create like lighting. Since it's like a horror thriller type, I needed to get shadows and darker tones. Instead of seeing lack of equipment as a problem, we as a team, I used it creatively. So that's why I came up with the candles. It actually made the technology and mise-en-scène work together, and it shaped the atmosphere to make it more realistic and more like eerie and unsettling. So even small lighting choices change how the audience can feel towards a movie and like certain clips. And for the editing software, it was probably the most important technology in the whole project because it's what like the movie was made with. That's where everything really came together. I controlled like the trimming of the clips and adjusting how like certain scenes, how long they were and how long they should last. For example, in the home invasion scene, at first I was like cutting too quickly and it ruined the suspense. So once I slowed it down, it created way more intense during the scene. I also adjusted brightness and contrast to make the scenes darker and much more scarier and more fit the horror aspect of the movie. Editing also showed me that the storytelling doesn't just happen when filming. It really happens during the post-production. And for sound was also a big part of it. Like I use subtle sound effects like footsteps, door creaks instead of loud dramatic music. I even use silence in some scenes so it can be more scarier. I also layered some sounds with visuals. It also taught me how important synchronization is. If sound hits at the right moment, it completely changes the impact of a scene. And online technology helped me during the research and development. I watched other I watched other peers' movies to really get to try and understand the horror aspect better. But that also influenced how I structured my opening. I also used online sound libraries and digital feedback from others to improve the final version. Like when we had to present in class, I took that feedback and we reshooted it to make it better. Also, it helped me realize pacing issues and continuity mistakes before submitting the final product. One moment where all the technology was really worked together was the Papa John's hat reveal, because I had to frame it carefully while filming so that it wasn't too obvious, but it was also noticeable, for the audience. Then in editing, I just had to make sure that the scene lasted long enough for the audience to obviously notice it. And it also, that just showed me how hard software and some decisions with it can connect to creating a meaning. And I'll say overall, the project helped me understand like that technology isn't separate from creativity. It actually supports it. By the end, I felt way more confident with creating tension and telling a story effectively. Instead of just filming scenes, I learned how to construct a psychological horror thriller using technology as part of the storytelling process. So, yeah, that's my movie Obsessed. Hope you guys like it. Thank you. Bye.